Hey everybody, welcome to another Extreme Makeover Scrapbook Layout Edition, and for this one I'm redoing a layout called Honors Day. And for this particular layout, unfortunately I don't have the footage of me deconstructing it because I didn't hit record on my iPhone when I was filming this. I'm going to walk you through this initially. So here is the original layout, and it's fine, but the story is so important, and it's about me receiving the Alumni Service Award from my alma mater back in 2014, and I'm very proud of this story. So what I wanted to do was clean this layout up a little bit, and I want to scale it down. So I took it from a 12 by 12 to an 8.5 by 11 layout, and I'm still going to use a lot of the whimsical colors there. I've added some florals, as you can see in the redone layout. And I just think that it looks a little bit more clean, a little bit more polished for the type of story that is being told and being documented. So we're going to start with me sort of explaining a little bit of the deconstruction process. Unfortunately, I don't have the original footage, so please forgive me. And then I'll speed it up and get to work on this layout. Okay, so before I get started, I did want to show you, I took off these elements. I just sort of cut the stitching off of them, and then maybe perhaps I'll use them for something else. So I'm going to go ahead and let this part go. And I think what I want to do is scale this layout down to an 8.5 by 11. And in fact, I found this page sketch from, I think it's called simplescrapbooking.com. It's a simple, very simple design, and I'll post a link to this sketch in the description. But it's an 8.5 by 11, didn't print very well for my printer. But here's a 4 by 6 photo with a little bit of matting and a whole lot of journaling and space for a title. So I think this is what I'm going to follow for this particular layout. I love using sketches because it takes all the guesswork out of it for me. So I'm going to go ahead and probably put the photo here, and then a title with some journaling and then some embellishing. Now for this layout, I want to use my new Hip Kit Club kit, which is super fun and colorful. Got these great fonts, these little enamel dots, as well as some really fun exclusive die cuts, I believe. Yes, exclusive for Hip Kit Club. We also got these fun little Dear Lizzie puppies, as well as this exclusive font by Hip Kit. And look, it has cute little hearts. Love that. Get letters and numbers. Wonderful. And then of course a nice variety of really fun pattern papers that coordinate well with all of the elements in the kit. So I'm going to make some selections here. This is going to be a little bit hard since I'm trying to keep this layout as simple as I can and really focus on the story, because we all know how I roll. Lots of options here to choose from, so I'm just going to have a look through this and then go ahead, speed up the video, and get started. Alright, so for this layout, again, I'm going to scale it down to 8.5 by 11, and I wanted to use this white cardstock, but I thought it was going to be too stark by itself. So I'm going to take that yellow piece of pattern paper you just saw me move to the side, it's sort of a notebook design, and I'm going to mount that white piece of cardstock on top. But before I do that, I want to add a little bit of grounding to the background. So I grabbed some journaling strips, and I'm going to place one at the top, one at the bottom. The bottom one has cameras and hearts and little sayings on it. Fine little day, just love. And the top one is navy blue with little spotted dots. Now I'm going to bring over that white piece of pattern paper, and that's going to add just the right amount of yellow border for me without being too overwhelming. And now I'm going to grab the pieces of pattern paper I'm going to use to layer my photo on. Now the pink one is from the Shamil collection, her Little by Little collection, and I believe the blue one is from the Lovely Day collection by Dear Lizzie. So I'm going to get those all mounted up. And I'm somewhat following the sketch. I'm changing it up just a tiny bit. I'm going to do a lot more layering than what's presented on the sketch that I showed you earlier, and that's okay. So I'm going to bring the photo over, and that's mounted on white cardstock. It wasn't originally, and I wanted to add just a little bit of presence to the photo on the layout, which is why I mounted it on white cardstock this time. And now I'm going to add some foam strips so I can pop it up, give it a little bit more dimension on this layout. So there we go. That looks really good. Now I'm going to bring in the title, and the title is going to read, You Are Loved Honors Day. Now I have this little label here that has You Are Loved, that little gold foiled label. I'm going to use that, and I needed something else to kind of pop with the title. And then I'm going to spell out Honors Day with this exclusive font from Hip Kit. Say that fast at times. I want to make sure that I left room for the D because it's kind of tall there. And I didn't want any trap space or any white space in between the words of the title. And then I'm going to add the other letters, the A and the Y, and just kind of nestle those there right in that position. I think that looks good. Now I'm going to add let's see, yes, some foam squares. I kind of lost my train of thought there for a second. I'm going to add some foam squares to the back of that label that says "You Are Loved," just to give it a little bit of height and dimension. And I think that'll work out just fine. I'm going to pull the backings off that. I'm putting it there just to make sure that, in fact, I want to use that label. Now, one of the things I want to achieve on this layout is in the original layout, there's lots of color and lots of movement. And I wanted to do that in a little bit more of a put together way. And so I chose those pattern papers in the back to sort of mimic the watercolor I attempted to do in the original layout with the blues and the greens, just to still kind of have that effect in the background without it being as messy looking as the original layout. So now I am adding some floral die cuts. Love that piece, it's gorgeous. And these are exclusive to the Hip Kit Club. Very pretty. I'm gonna add another floral die cut that's gonna go right in the back of that tag as well as that little floral piece. And then I'm gonna add another flower there to the top. I'm gonna pop that up on foam squares just to give it a little bit more presence and dimension on the layout. Good to go, patting everything down. Now I'm going to focus my attention on the space by the left-hand side of the, nope, I'm moving ahead. So what I want to add now are some Dear Lizzie puffy stickers. So I added a camera as well as a puffy heart. Again, adding a little bit more dimension. Now I reached for this butterfly that came in the exclusive die cut set. Now I'm going to focus my attention on layering there by the left-hand side of the title. So I add the butterfly, and it is gold foil against, I think it's a mint green color. It's really, really pretty. I'm going to pop up those wings just a little bit to give it a little bit of movement on the page. And then I want to layer some more florals there underneath the butterfly. So I choose the pink floral. I'm going to switch this up just a little bit. Put the one that's gold trim at the bottom underneath the butterfly. And then I'm going to add the pink floral there. I'm going to pop that up with a foam square here in just a second. So that's nice and equal to the height of the photo. Good to go. Love the way that looks. Now I'm going to reach over again to my little puffy shapes. And I found this cute little air balloon, hot air balloon, which is adorable. I'm going to end up moving that because it's going to impede the space of my journaling here in just a second. Next up, I'm going to grab some enamel dots because it wouldn't be a layout without enamel dots, right? This is from the not the Sweet Dreams. This is from the Summer Dreams collection from Echo Park. I'm going to sprinkle those around the page, and I fiddle with this for just a little bit. Something that I don't normally do, but I was somewhat indecisive as to where I wanted those to go. So that looks really good. Adds a little bit of movement, a different shape, and some texture. So here's the journaling all typed up, and basically what I talk about is I was nominated and received the Alumni Service Award through the College of Education for the Educational Psychology Department. That is the department I graduated from, for my service as an alumni to the department. And for a while, I was doing a lot of speaking engagements with the department and reaching out to other students who were getting ready to go into the family studies field. And so I was very proud to receive this award. I think the redo does the story justice. I think it's a lot more cleaned up. I love all the florals. It still has the movement and the color, which I didn't want to lose from the original layout. It's a lot more put together, and I think it really speaks to the story. I want it to look super professional and super clean, and I think that I achieved that. Alright folks, that is all for this week's makeover. If you like what you see, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time.